It's never a good thing when your rear end clunks. Ah, there we go. Well, with that, we're all done with another maintenance video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day as always. In today's video, we are back out in the garage for a maintenance update video. So the 2017 Ram Sport 4-wheel drive is about 94,000 miles on the clock, and it's probably well overdue for a differential oil change. Since it's 4-wheel drive, we've got a front differential, rear differential, and the transfer case fluid. So we've got to change 3 things in this. If you caught one of my previous videos, we just finished up doing the wife's 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee differential fluid change, but hers is 2-wheel drive, so we only had to do the rear fluid change. Good to go. Everything turned out perfect. So today we're doing my truck. Shouldn't be too bad. It's probably way overdue for this. I think you're supposed to change it a little bit earlier than 90,000 miles, probably around the 60,000 miles, but check your owner manual for all that good stuff. We're going with Amsoil Fluids again today, just like we did in the Jeep fluid change. You know, lots of debate out there on fluids and all that good stuff. I've always had good success, and I like Amsoil Fluids, so we're sticking with that. We've got, I'll show you what we got on the bench in a second, but we've got their severe gear fluid. Even if you don't use your 4-wheel drive, supposedly the front differential is always moving and turning even though it's not engaged. And so that fluid is being used to lubricate those gears regardless. So you want to make sure you change that as well when you're doing all these other things. And of course, we're going to, while we're under there doing everything, going to knock out the transfer case fluid too. So if you want to follow along, if you like these kind of videos, leave them a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Hit subscribe while you're here. We do all kinds of stuff like this on the channel. Mods, performance mods, upgrades, unboxing, review videos. We even throw in some travel videos from time to time to mix things up. So I appreciate you subscribing. If you got any comments about what we're up to on the channel or this particular video, leave them down below. I try to answer everybody's comments. But let's go ahead and show you what we got and get to it. So like I was saying, there's a lot of debate over what fluid you need to go to, what you need to use, all that good stuff. Always had good success with Amsoil. It's a little bit more pricier, but you know, if you plan on keeping your vehicle for a while and you want to take good care of it, I always opt for the Mobil One 20,000 mile oil instead of the 10,000 mile, and I just go a little bit overboard to make sure everything's good to go. And again, we've got 3 different fluids we got to change. Always check your owner's manual for what it suggests to use fluid wise and everything, and make sure you're doing, you know, what you're supposed to. My truck does not have the limited slip rear differential, but the fluids come with the additive already in it. If it has it in it, it won't hurt anything. But if you need it and you don't have it, then that's where you can cause a problem. So these already have the additive in it. Our front differential takes 75W85. Our rear differential takes 75W140. And here is our equivalent automatic transmission fluid for our transfer case. So again, you can go to the Amsoil site, punch in your specs on your vehicle. They are not a sponsor by any means, and it'll give you all the torque specs for your plugs and whatnot, and recommend the appropriate fluid for you. So, and again, check your owner's manual. Let's see if I can get this thing open. Got it marked here. Sort of. Let's get to it. Yeah, well, my gosh. So yeah, so there's where we've got our different fluids. There's your transfer case. It tells you the Borg-Warner 44 transfer case fluid. So this is the equivalent to that from Amsoil. And then we've got our front axle 4-wheel drive 75W85 and rear axle 75W140. So we're good to go there. Got everything spec'd out correctly. Now we just got to get under there and get started taking things apart. Shouldn't be too much trouble at all. Alright, so in our case, working on the rear differential here, we just have a rubber plug for the fill plug and the inspection hole here. So in a lot of them, you've got a metal plug like we have for the drain over here on the side, in the top or the side or whatever, like we did on the Jeep. So you always want to make sure you can crack that open and get it open first before you go and start draining all your fluid out and don't have a way to put it back together. So anyway, in our case, I don't think it's going to be quite as bad. Let's see if we can get this plug out. Ah, there we go. All right, so not much to that, just a regular old rubber stopper plug there. And there's our fill hole. And so now on this Dodge that we're working on, let me clean up just a little bit. On this Ram, we've got a 14mm Allen wrench to get the plug out, which is on the bottom side over here. So I'm gonna move this hand just a little bit to start with. And get it nice and seated in there good. It's in there pretty tight. There we go. Mike can get it with my hand. Yeah. Alright, we'll get our hand right here in case it decides to shoot out pretty quick. Whoop, there we go. It doesn't look too terrible. A little milky, but not too bad. Of course, I dropped the plug in there. Make sure you got your cap and your vent open on your oil drain pan, or that could be a mess. But I don't think there's enough fluid in there to overflow it. But anyway, we'll let that drain real good. Make sure we got it all out, and then we'll just put the plug back in and fill her up. Not bad at all so far. All right, so we've got our plug out, the fluid's drained, and here is our Severe Gear 75W140 for the rear. Yeah, I've noticed a clunk coming from the rear end. It's never a good thing when your rear end clunks. And I don't know if that's due to the performance tune I have on here, because it's got a transmission tune as well. So I don't know if maybe the pressures are a little higher and it's causing it to kind of snatch a little harder. But anyway, maybe this fluid change will help clear up some of that. I'll let you know. You got any comments down below as to what might be causing that? It's mainly when you're idling or coasting, say slower through town, and then you get back on the gas and it kind of snatches it. You'll hear a clunk coming from back here. So anyway, back to the main topic here. We've got everything drained out. We're gonna put our plug back in now. You can use some thread sealant on the plug if you want to. Better safe than sorry in most instances. There was none on it coming out, but again, that's from factory, first time it's been removed. So it might not hurt anything to put some plug or thread sealer on it, but we're gonna put it back in, torque it down, and then start filling it up. I bought these easy fill bags so we can pop the little cap off. Well, I say we can. Hold on. There we go. You can pop the cap off and then cut the tip off to where you want it to. This one's a lot easier to get to than the one on the Jeep. The Jeep was on the side up top, so I had to use a filler tube on this. But this one I should be able to just hold right up there to it and fill it right back up. So that should be a lot easier. So that's what we're up to now. We're gonna put that plug back in and fill it up, put the rubber stopper back in. so the rear differential was not that bad at all. Really didn't take long. You could leave it draining for 10 minutes or so. Make sure you get as much fluid out as possible before you put that plug back in and refill it. The bags work great on the rear. I don't know about the transfer case for the front. We're tackling those next, so we'll see how that works, but they work perfect in the rear. It took about 2.5 quarts, give or take, to fill it up till it was draining back out of that fill plug. And the bags you can't really get every last little drop out of, but it did take over 2 quarts, 1 quart per bag, and so about 2.5 quarts or so to fill it back up. Now we're going to hop up under the front, see what it looks like, see if it's in the same shape, and get that swapped out. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to film, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like and then go ahead and do the work. So we've got our top fill plug up here, and we've got our drain plug down here. Again, this is a 2017 Ram 4x4. So this one, if you notice, you've got your wiring, the frame, and everything's in the way. So the bag's going to be more difficult to be able to get to this fill plug. So we may have to hook the tube back up to it, squeeze it in till it fills it up. But again, I would suggest cracking this plug loose first to make sure you don't have any trouble before you go and drain everything out. This takes a different fluid than the rear end. This is the 85 versus the 140, I think is what it was. So this is a different type fluid or different viscosity or whatnot than the rear. So now we're just gonna crack this one, drain it out, and then put this plug back in once it's drained, and then fill it back up. Probably have to get our little tube to fill this up. But yeah, that's that in the front, and we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know if I run into any trouble. All right, the front is done as well. That was no problem either. It was a little bit more aggravating because of the wires and the boxes, controls and stuff are a little bit more in the way. But it's got a plug, whereas the back was a rubber stopper plug. So 2 plugs in the front. Use a different weight fluid in the front. That fluid actually looked and came out really nice looking. I don't use the 4-wheel drive in this very much. Like I said, it's always spinning and everything, but I guess if you don't really use a 4-wheel drive, it's not putting a lot of strain on it. It's just kind of free spinning in there. So that fluid looked great for 94,000 miles. Probably didn't really need to change it, but while we're out here doing everything, better safe than sorry. So it's got some fresh fluid in it now for hopefully another 94,000 miles in it. Now we got to get this transfer case dealt with. So let's hop under there and see what it looks like. Oh, and quick note. Oh, hold on, let me find it. That was a size 8 Allen wrench or socket for the front differential. I think the back was a 14, front was an 8. So we'll see what the transfer case looks like. All right, so we are back under here with our transfer case now, Borg Warner. And so we've got our transmission fluid to put in this thing. We've got our fill plug over here, drain plug over here. Again, this is just a square plug. It's a 3/8 inch socket adapter. So the 3/8 inch socket will just snap in there. I've got an extension on it because it's got this kind of weird spline curve here. So we're going to pop it in there and then hopefully see this thing will come loose. Oh, that was not in there tight at all. So we're good there. So we'll leave that kind of loose, and then we'll start this one. Get it to sit in there. Yeah, that was not in there tight at all. So be careful, you know, check your torque specs and all that good stuff. You don't want to over tighten that because that was not in there tight at all. We'll see what this looks like. Doesn't look too terrible. And then we'll pull this one, let it flow a little easier. There we go. And we'll let that drain, and then we'll come back and put the bottom one back in and fill it up, and this job will be done. Well, with that, we're all done with another maintenance video. Worked out perfect, thankfully. Hopefully we have no leaks. We'll check everything again. Again, you may want to put some thread sealant on those. The transfer case actually did have a little bit of thread sealant on it, so I made sure to put a little bit more back on it and run those plugs back in. They were not in tight, nowhere near as tight as the front and rear differential. They were just in there barely. So put those back in. Everything looks good so far. Like I said, knock on wood, hopefully we don't have any leaks. And we're on down the road again until we need to change it out one more time. If you have a lift or anything, of course, that'll make everything a lot easier, but it's not bad. A little strain on your back and your neck crawling under there, but not bad at all. To knock out another one, save you a ton of money having to take it to a dealer or shop or something like that. It's not bad at all. These little bags work perfect in all the scenarios except for the front one. You might have, could have still done it, but I used my little filler tube, little plastic hose, snapped right on the top of the bottle, snaked it in there, filled it up, good to go. So in this case, they work really good. And my wife's Jeep, like I said before, not so good. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you found it helpful or informative, give it a thumbs up. Got any questions? Drop them down below. Try to answer everybody's questions. And consider subscribing to the channel. We do maintenance videos like this, show you how things work and how you can do it at home and save you some money. We do all kinds of upgrades and performance videos as well, some travel videos too. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the channel. And stay tuned for the next one. I'll catch you later. Bye.